why is it beneficial for the neighborhoods? Like, explain 30 seconds to that.
So it provides an alternative to policing, right? Where you hire these coordinators to go out into the community and then just community engagement. So my father did a lot of organizing in different blocks, different precincts to create block clubs, right? And that's where the bulk of the conversation, what's going on in neighborhoods, would take place, right? And so there was a huge spurt. I remember when my father first started doing block clubs, and then all these block parties started happening. It was a good time. And so he would be called on to come and talk to victims and, just kind of provide some type of orientation when there was a crime scene. So he loved what he did it for, I think, about 20 years, and then recently retired, built a house in Mexico, never talked about retiring in Mexico up until 2 years ago. I was like, Dad, where are you going? Why are you leaving Chicago? You need to stay. And he's like, nope, your mama wants to go. We're going to go. So yeah.
One more winter and I'm done. Yeah.
Good for him. Just a quick backdrop. So my dad's an immigrant, right? And so he was initially a butcher, worked in a few grocery stores, bought a few grocery stores, went bankrupt in the 80s when the whole savings and loan fell apart. Then he ends up getting involved politically. HDO, are you familiar?
No.
Oh,
give us the rundown.
Write a book. Yeah. Hispanic Democratic Organization. So back in the day, when Daley was mayor, he was pushing for the Latino vote, and he found someone to help him build that base, a gentleman by the name of Al Sanchez, and they created this democratic organization where a lot of immigrant Mexican men across the city, or Latino men, really, just started organizing and collecting petitions for, and registering folks to vote. And so it was kind of a channel or a vehicle for my father to get a city job. And usually the city jobs came in different shapes and forms. He did it. He took a different route. The alderman at the time, Alderman Pope, really was impressed with my father's skills to speak English and Spanish. And so he offered him the CAPS job. He says, why don't you apply to this? I'll give you a recommendation. I'd really like you to stick around in the ward and just, be the eyes and ears of the community for me. And so he did it. And then 20 years later, he retired. So I'm really proud of him. I know that HDO has a negative connotation, but the purpose of HDO was to do right by people like my father.